Hey, Stace. Hey, you have a couple of messages there on your desk. And Sherry stopped by to find out if you wanted to kick in for their birthday fun. Are you late on a story or something?
Well, no, not this time. This time I'm ahead.
Well, is it something that you can't tell your old buddy?
Canterbury came down.
What?
Several thousand tons of steel and concrete lying in a heap in the ground like the earthquake had flattened it.
Well, when did this happen?
About 20 minutes ago. Excuse me.
Stacy, were you there?
Was I there? It was like Krakatoa all over again.
Oh, my goodness. Was anyone hurt?
I don't think so, but they're still searching through the debris. Gil Prescott swears it's not his fault.
Well, he's got a lot of trouble on his hands right now. I sure hope he has enough insurance.
Yeah, Gil Prescott's got trouble, and I finally got my story. Funny, though, all Gil could say was that he swears someone's behind it.
Sabotage?
Something like that.
Well,
but-
what about Peter?
Well, Peter was there, but he didn't want to say anything for the record. You know, they were pretty shocked.
So you just ran over here to get started on the story right away, is that it?
Yes, I'll do follow-up interviews later.
Stacy, this is great, girl. I'm telling you, it sounds like you got a handle on this thing.
Gene, this is the story I've been waiting for ever since I got out of Mr. McGovern.
Hi, Stacy. Redland, I got that file for you on Carruthers. I'd like you to look it over.
Oh, I think Stacy has something. that she-
By the way, that reminds me. I've got that personal statement from Wainwright. It's on my desk. Just a second,
Stacy,
I'll
are
get
you
it.
gonna tell the man?
Tell me what?
The Canterbury office complex just collapsed.
You did what?
Collapsed, all 10 stories.
Less than 30 minutes ago, and Stacy is already here working on the story.
That's unbelievable. That was a major step in Kingsley's redevelopment plan.
And the builder thinks it was sabotaged.
Yes, well, you do the first report on it, Stacy, and keep it brief. I'll send out Redland first thing in the morning to do the story.
Did I just hear him right?
What are you gonna do about it?
He just took it away from me. I can't believe it.
Stacy, I don't want the story.
Well, I do, and we just saw how much that means to McGovern. Of all the unmitigated gall, this I will not accept.
Well, why don't you tell him how you feel about it, huh?
Gene, I was there when it happened. I dug out the facts on the sabotage. I've got an end to Peter and Gil. Of all the unfair, biased decisions I've ever heard.
Stacy, look, getting mad's not gonna help you. Just tell him
Redland,
how you feel.
Here's the Wainwright report.
Mr. McGovern, I might lose my job for this, but I demand the right to cover the Canterbury story.
Hi, yeah, this is Miriam Prescott.
Don't defend her to me, Davidson.
But you don't have any to prove.
Proof?
she's
What kind of
on the
proof do I need?
phone.
Half of Kingsley knows she was out to get me back.
You're so convinced. Get on that phone and you call her yourself.
No, I'm gonna give her this one face to face.
Excuse me, may I please call you back later? Thank you.
Here it is.
Gil, that was so rude.
Not now,
Look,
Marianne.
call these people up right away.
Why? What's wrong?
There was an accident at the Canterbury.
What? Is anyone hurt?
Yeah. You, me, this whole business, it came down around our ears.
What are you talking about?
Framework. The framework collapsed.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, right in front of our eyes. Look, call our lawyer. Get in touch with our insurance broker and pull a file on workman's comp. One of those guys was bruised up pretty bad.
I'm going to call Dad
You're
first.
not gonna call anybody.
It's his company.
You should wait till we know more about it.
No, that's not it. Dad put this business in my hands. Do you understand? And if I'm gonna take the heat for this thing, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it first.
Well, what do you know?
That we've been set up.
Now, Gil, who would do something like
He
that?
thinks it's Vicky Lang.
Remember that soil analysis report we found this morning?
Yeah, it said that the land was unsafe to support the building.
That's what it said this morning. But originally, it gave us the go-ahead.
That's true, but I don't think it's Vicky's fault.
Oh, Davidson, you're so naive. You're more naive than I am stupid for trusting her. Don't worry. I'm not gonna take this lying down. I'm gonna go see Vicky Lang and get the truth out of her if I have to wring her neck.
Gil, you don't have 1 ounce of proof.
The proof I have is that there's plenty of women in this town that don't think very much of me, but Vicky Lang is the only one that's got a way to get back at me.
You're saying she faked the report, right? Okay, now I have no proof that she didn't. But I do know that she's not a hardened criminal, and she cannot go around forging public records.
Fine. What about her assistant, your aunt?
Nancy.
Yeah, she's got a talent for it, wouldn't you say? Put her together with Vicky Spite, and what do you got? A $10 million pile of junk. I swear, she's not gonna get away with this.
It's worth your job?
Well, what I mean is, I was assigned the Canterbury. I was there when it collapsed. and I think
Stacy, you were sent out to do a community interest story, not a major disaster.
I can handle it, Mr. McGovern. I'm telling you, I can do it.
Stacy, it's not your ability that's in question here. I hesitate to... I hate to send out a woman who's so inexperienced.
Is that accent on inexperience or woman?
Oh, come on now, Gene. You know I've got a good track record of hiring across the board.
Hiring, yes, but what about assigning?
Oh, come on. Don't try and browbeat me into feeling guilty
I'm
about...
not trying.
Or feeling sorry for you.
I want that even less.
Walter, what Stacy is trying to tell you simply...
Gene, let Stacy explain what Stacy's saying. I realize you're taking a chance giving me this story, but that's journalism, isn't it? There's a risk a minute. Now, I've got contacts at Prescott Development and a jump on the other papers, one that I'm losing standing here, pleading. And I am pleading because I know I'm just the person you need for this job.
Yeah, I'm up to my ears in work. I couldn't do the story any justice.
I want you to check and see if there are any legal claims on this. I want you to find out if anybody's hurt. See what the investors have to say about it. Check and see if there's anybody who really is at fault, and find out who stands to lose the most. All right?
Right.
Well, it's done. Aren't you going to ask me what's done?
Couldn't possibly be your work. That's only been sitting on your desk all morning.
Vicky, you are so plebeian. Don't you realize us entrepreneurs don't work?
Who?
Entrepreneurs.
Really? What do they do?
Well, first they invest and then they sit back and wait, which is exactly what I'm going to do, seeing as my units in Real Estate Limited Partnership, Inc. are signed, sealed, delivered, and validated. I'm going to sit back and dream.
Of what?
Oh, you name it. Furs, condos. Of course, I realize I'm going to have to wait. I mean, it doesn't all just come at once.
Well, while you're waiting, why don't you attend to that pile of revised city code plans that are sitting on your desk and leave me alone?
Vicky, you know what the best thing about all this is? It's completely legal. You know what that means?
What?
There's nothing that Terry can do to stop me. I can just see her now, stepping out onto the balcony of my lakefront condo, absolutely green with envy. Nancy, this is really nice. Play your cards right, and you can be my roommate.
I guess that's better than being cellmates.
What is that saying? Living well is the best revenge. What's wrong with you?
Why didn't you suggest that kind of revenge with Gil?
Oh, will you stop this, please?
Right. Why should you care? I mean, you've already got your happy ever after all planned out, haven't you?
Vicky, I have switched the documents. It's already been taken care of.
I don't want to hear about it anymore, Nancy.
Well, you're the one that brought it up.
I can't even drive past the Canterbury anymore. It's like driving past a 10-story death trap.
Death trap? Once it's up, it's gonna start cracking and splitting and leaking. It's just gonna look like Gil's cut too many corners again. He'll never get another construction bid in this town.
Listen to you. I mean, you've worked as my secretarial assistant for what, half a year? And suddenly you know everything there is to know about the construction business.
What I know about Miss Vicky is how to act calm when I'm being accused. If Gil ever walked in here, you'd melt like butter. Let me just tell you this. If you go down, you're going down on your own, lady.
right. If it's necessary to call us at home, please do. Bye-bye.
What did Lander say?
Well, she's going to start looking into the legal facts, but she can't get that far as our attorney until the authorities decide who is responsible.
I know who, and I'm gonna prove it. Come on, Pete. We're gonna go see Vicky Lang.
Dear Lord, just turn all this around for your good. No,
Marianne, please, come on. Help me now. I've got no one else left to turn to. You know why I'm here?
for money.
And to see you.
You look tired.
Am I, safe here?
Janice, Gil told you to hold all calls. I don't want to see anyone today either, okay? Are you hungry?
Look at dude, take me out to lunch, huh?
No, I have some cheese crackers here.
Kind of like feeding a pet.
Russ, please.
Little hamster. Do me a favor, would you, huh? Just, could you put your arms around me? Just hold me once.
You're shaking.
Hey, you want to hear something really stupid? We were in the drugstore the other day, you know, the one on the campus? And I was walking down the aisle, and I was walking by the makeup stand, and all of a sudden I smelled your perfume.
Russ, I don't want to hear it.
I just stood there, smelling this bottle, until this lady came up and said, "Hey, those are on sale." I don't know, I just said, "Hey, I'll take a bottle, gift wrap it." She turned her back on me, I grabbed a sample and split. And I got it out in my car in the glove box. Whenever I don't think that I'm gonna be able to...
Russ, stop it! I don't want to know.
So I don't say this stuff to hurt you. Marianne, look at the facts, all right? If I was running from a crime, it'd be different.
Russ, you are a criminal. You killed a man.
In self-defense. And a lot of the things I did that were stupid. But when it came right to it, I didn't kill those two. I saved Gene Redlin and Miriam. The bottom line is I did what was right.
And I'm trying to do what's right, too.
Then you should know that you should help me.
Russ, I almost envy you. You don't have to face what you believe. You don't have to search and to wait. You just measure the facts and you make your decision.
That's all I'm asking you to do.
Well, I'll tell you something. I am accountable to God. And He's above whatever you may think is right. He's above whatever I may feel for you.
What, did he say no?
I don't know.
Look, God loves me, right? That's what you keep telling me.
Yes!
Well, then He wants to help me, too. You keep telling me that you were above the law. You said that...
No, I said that God's grace and mercy was above legalism.
Then what do you keep trying to place in it for? Can't He help me more than them? Huh?
Well, maybe He's going to use them to help you.
Or use you. You know, all I've ever known from you is love of promises, love of principles and what's right. You've never given me what I need. All because of your faith and your love. Come on, doesn't that faith of yours give a little?
Well, how much do you need?
5,000, enough to get out of the country, start life somewhere else. You don't have to decide now. As you know, I don't have very much longer. Listen, I'll call you.
Some observers, including the current head of the construction company, Gil Prescott, said the building came down at approximately 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. Prescott himself made no comment. The police have cordoned off the area and will begin an investigation shortly. For this and other top stories,
Gene.
tune in for Newsline.
Gene, take a look at this. The Kingsley Sun.
I don't see it in here.
I told you they always put that thing to bed too early for an evening paper.
Oh, yeah, but that's not fair. You had your own reporter over there on the scene.
Come on, Gene, you don't have to keep campaigning for her. I gave her the story, didn't I?
And now I'm giving it to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it looks all right.
Looks like you beat the competition, lady.
I can't believe he just did that.
What's that?
The way he just glanced at my story.
Well, Stacy, maybe he's starting to believe in you.
Oh, come on, Gene. He once spent an hour editing my in-depth report on postnasal drip. He's going to take a story like this with just a glance?
Phillips.
Yes, sir?
Thought you were right behind me. We have to go over your story in detail.
Look familiar?
It's a soil analysis report.
With your initials on it.
It went through my office.
It's not the only one that went through your office either, is it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Gil.
And you. You had something to do with this, too.
I did.
You two forged this report.
Gil, I think you've been working a little bit too long in the sun.
The Canterbury collapsed.
The who did what?
My building fell down. First, the steel started to sag, and then the foundation
Then it
cracked.
fell to the ground.
So what, is this our fault or something?
You know it is.
Gil, I think you ought to turn the temperature down in your hot tub. You've been staying in the sun too long, your brain's getting fried.
How many times did I come in here with this Canterbury report?
Gil, you're nuts.
Time after time. But I received reports back 2 weeks before I even saw this.
That's right, and that one never showed up.
That's right. And as Peter and Mary Ann are my witnesses, we received a report that gave us permission to build on that site.
Oh, yeah, so where is it, Gil, darling? Where's the report?
You tell me.
So is this what you're going to do? You're going to try and blame your corporate greed on a couple of menial government workers?
Greed? What's that got to do with it?
Oh, come on, Gil. You got caught with your poor planning and 2-cent materials, so you try and blame it on us, right? Some ridiculous, idiotic story about falsifying papers and
It might be
forging-
idiotic with some people, but not when you two are involved.
Gil, you don't have any proof about this.
Listen, you keep this up, and you're going to get a slander suit slammed at you so fast that your insurance company won't be able to pay back your investors.
So you had to strike back, didn't you? Somebody didn't play into your hands, and you didn't know how to handle that, did you?
Gil, this is no time for nostalgia.
It sure isn't.
Besides, I've had other men treat me like you did, but at least we were able to handle it like mature adults.
But that's what they were, other men. Nobody special until I came along.
I'll say this for you. You're conceited to the end.
Well, you finally got your revenge, didn't you? Well, you proved something that I've always known about you. You're low class.
That's enough. I think you better leave.
You're so weak. You let her push you into this. And you're so selfish. You didn't stop to think that somebody else might get hurt by this, did you? Well, when they start cleaning up that site and the dust settles, there's no telling what they might find. Or who.
Okay, get in there.
Where's Paula?
I kicked her out. She didn't wise up.
To what?
The same thing I'm going to tell you, honey. Ron's gone, so you take orders from second in command.
Who's that, Russ?
Let me tell you something. Listen to me, sweetheart. He's not here to protect you anymore. You understand me?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't make any more wisecracks. You got that?
It's okay.
It's a nice break me finding you in the street, huh?
What's lucky about it? I'm not the one the police are after.
What'd you hear?
Brubaker's cleaning up. You and Russ are the only ones left.
Somebody talking?
No. If Mickey knew where you were, he'd come for himself.
Who's this, Mickey? Mickey Garrison?
Yeah. The streets are his now.
Oh, they are? I guess you are too, huh, baby?
What was I supposed to do, Lance? Everything was gone so
You're
fast.
supposed to call me up. I could have gotten you a job.
Well, that's what I thought about at first. But I figured with the heat on like it was, there's no way you'd be anywhere near Kingsley.
Yeah, no, you figured wrong, didn't you, honey? I'm right here. I'm ready to hire.
Mickey runs a closed shop.
No, Mickey don't run no shop. Ron left that, and that's mine. You got that? No, do you understand me?
Sure, Lance, sure. It's okay. You and me, we always did get along, right?
Listen, that's right. We got along. I don't want any more of this stuff. I'm gonna show you something. Come here. Come here. Look in that mirror. How much you think I can get for that? Huh? You ought to be glad I took you off the street. That's right. You told me when Ron went down, you'd go with him. That's exactly what you did.
Come on, Gil. We're not getting anywhere here. Let's go.
You think about this long and hard, Vicky, because you're in this deep. And the only way you're gonna get out of it is if you admit what you've done and take the rap.
Gilla! I'm sorry about what's happened. I know what this means to you and your company, but is it fair to blame me just because I couldn't forget you like all the other girls? Like you forgot me? Well, even if I could do something this drastic, wouldn't I do something to make you love me? I could never do anything like this. Encore, Vicky.